We're back!
Yep, straight into pick and ban. Premium Esports does have the blue side this time. It'd be interesting to see what they end up banning away. I do think they need to ban away the Caitlyn and the Ashe on blue side this time, and then just slam through the Maokai first pick. I think that'd be their best option. It'd be cool to see what they go with though. Desire, that takes away comfort from Sprupe. It also means they don't want to first pick it, because I know that Raze does play it. We are going to see the Morgana ban. Not too keen on it, because I don't think it gave them any trouble whatsoever in the bot lane. I think it gets pushed in. She's generally a weak laner. Karma ban comes through on the blue side. Again, taking away that bot lane priority. It's possible. Either way, it looks like they're going to try and get through either the Caitlyn or the Ashe on their own side, just leaving those picks open. We'll see how they go for it, though.
Right, we have PG now on blue side. SPD leading with 1 game, and the bans are coming out. We see a Zyra ban.
Yeah, that's going to take away some comfort from Ungentle Bang, Premium Esports Gaming's support. We are going to see the Yasuo again, instead of the Yone. And there's the Caitlyn ban, just to make sure they can't first pick it. It'd be interesting to see if they either pick the Maokai or the Ashe, or it's just a completely different pick now. There's the Ashe, there it is. That's the one I was expecting to come out. Again, it just wins every single bot lane matchup. It's really difficult to play against. As a counter here, I'd like to see a Heimerdinger, because Heimerdinger wins against the Ashe. It's very, very difficult to deal with him. It depends what AD carry they pick for comfort. The Samira, this could be Samira Leona, Samira Nautilus. I'm expecting them to go hard engage then on the Ashe. They're going to struggle early, but if they can get a hard engage, they will win that. The Elise early, okay. They're looking for sort of like shadowing around that early game. Not too sure why they picked the Elise as early as they did. I would have liked to see the other support come out.
Oh, it's
but I think they're worried about
against Ashe.
It's going to be difficult to play into. We are going to see a Zac as well. This is going to be very, very difficult for support diff to play. That is a lot of crowd control in your first two picks.
We do see like PG is now really going to counter anything like that they saw supportive doing last game, and supportive is probably gonna pull up a different type of gameplay this time.
Yeah, Aatrox comfort pick as well for the top laner is something that we've spoken about before. Tormentor loves their Aatrox. It is their strongest pick. It's their favorite pick. They love playing it. It's going to be a comfort matchup for them in the top side, which is always really good to play, especially when you're down in a series. It's always good to have that comfort pick that you can feel confident on. Let's see if they can sort of push that advantage, depending on what the top lane matchup is. And there's the Nautilus that we said earlier. I think they just want to pick an engaged support before they start getting banned away on the second rotation. Now it's just down. I think they're going to go with some more bot lane bans. We might end up seeing a Jinx ban here. Or they're going to target the mid laner. This is the roaming supports that was mentioned as well in the first draft as well. First game's draft. Because the mid laner of Premium Esports does really enjoy their mages, particularly the Talia and the Twisted Fate as well.
Let's see second run of banning. Yes, Silas is gone.
Silas is another. Silas is the same ban that we saw in the last game as well. I think they're just trying to take comfort away from their mid laner. I'll be interested to see if they ban a Yone here on Premium Esports on their second ban though.
Probably gonna see control mage ban, I think, for mid from SPD here. No, we get the Jinx ban.
Yeah, there's the Jinx ban. Again, Jinx is a pretty strong laner with the control that she has. Just taking the Jinx away from the Jinx Ashe lane is pretty strong. There's the Ornn comfort as well to go into the Aatrox. Ornn is a pick that both of them have played quite a bit. But yeah, support diff's top. Definitely enjoy sort of picking that Ornn up there. It'll also just help take away some extra teamfight focus from support diff, because right now just the Samira Nautilus as well. That is a scary compo to have in team fights. Wondering what they pick for their first pick, or their fourth pick, sorry.
Renekton, no.
The Renekton into the Aatrox. Okay,
so
that is
top is gonna be very intense.
Yeah, that's a skill matchup for sure. The good thing here for support diff is that the Renekton has a lot more gank setup with the Elise, because you've got 2 stuns there, so Renekton can go in and W, the Elise can follow it with a Cocoon, and that Aatrox is guaranteed dead every single time that hits. So I'm wondering if the Elise is going to path topside and look for kills up there, just to shut down the Aatrox, because once Aatrox is behind, it's very difficult for him to get back in the game. Gonna look for the other round of picks.
It's
the Misfortune. Either one of these could be in support. It could either be Ashe or Misfortune support. I'm expecting it to be an Ashe AD carry. She does perform a bit better there. But that's a very, very strong bot lane. They are going to poke the Samira Nautilus out to an insane degree. It's impossible to play against. The Elise will need to go down there and help, unless they want to just sack bot lane and go for top. And there's the Lissandra. That's going to shut down any assassin picks that Rick Lanchy likes to play in the mid lane.
So the mid laner will be?
Yeah, they do like the assassins. I'm wondering if they are going to pick an assassin into Lissandra. It will make it very difficult. But it is their comfort, and they do really enjoy those picks. So we'll see what actually comes out. Kassadin, very good answer. Very, very, very good answer into Lissandra. Lissandra might have control of the lane early, but Kassadin doesn't lose too hard to it whatsoever. And once Kassadin starts scaling, it can't really be shut down too hard by the Lissandra. And yeah, again, interesting pick ban here. Premium Esports Gaming definitely have the advantage on the bot side. It's going to be really, really difficult for the Nautilus and Samira to play this game unless they either get an early pick by outplaying them, or they get gank support through the Elise. In the mid lane, the Elise is going to have Prio ganking over the lanes, and she has a very easy time ganking the top lane. And Kassadin is just going to be left by himself just to scale up. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this one goes, for sure. I am expecting at least a path topside more often this game because of the gank setup that she does have. But we'll see as well, because Nautilus getting a pick onto Ashe or Misfortune makes it very easy to set up for kills.
Alright, let's have a look at the runes, starting from the ADCs. We get Lethal Tempo, no, sorry, to support this time. Starting from the top, we get Lethal Tempo Ashe against Conqueror Samira, pretty basic build for both of them, just like we saw before. For Zac and Elise, we have Elise with Electrocute. Though, you think that's a normal one Zac would take in this comp?
Yeah, yeah, the Aftershock there is sort of like the best thing to do, because their team is going to be very focused on all-ins. Real quick, I am interested to see, it's a Misfortune support, is it not?
We can see that after Aatrox and Nautilus. Let's have a look at those here, Conqueror and Glacial Augment Nautilus. I think those are what you would take here, right?
The Glacial Augment on Nautilus I'm not too keen about, because the Glacial Augment, what you want to do with Glacial Augment is you want to sort of like use it to stop other CC going down onto you. So a really common thing is to have like a Leona Nautilus lane. The Nautilus in that case would take the Glacial Augment, because when you land your Q and the Glacial Augment goes down, it's harder for the Leona to then follow up with a stun, because she can't get a Q off, but where she's slowed, she can't walk towards people. It usually means she has to commit her flash or her ult. Into the Ashe Misfortune lane with all the poke they've got, I would have rather have seen a Guardian there.
There we go, Misfortune. It looks like it will be supported with the Arcane Comet.
Not too keen on the Arcane Comet either. I would have preferred a Press the Attack, because it boosts damage from everyone in your team. And you can proc it really easily. You just walk up auto Q auto and it will chunk out pretty much anyone.
You also see Renekton with Press the Attack.
Press the Attack is good into the Aatrox for sure.
Yeah,
and
because
again,
you want to go for short trades, right?
Yeah, and yeah, not only do you want the short trades, but again, you get 10% bonus damage when you proc Press the Attack from everyone. Meaning that if the Elise does go up there, that Aatrox is dead if that Press the Attack is active, and they get a stun off. It's so much damage, it is unlivable for like any champion.
Right, and we have Lissandra with Electrocute and the Kassadin going with Fleet Footwork for the last set.
Standard. Pretty standard from the Kassadin. Again, they just want to sort of like sustain the lane out, scale up to that late game. And again, with Lissandra, it's all just sort of like about going in and bursting, because she doesn't really have that great in terms of rune choices. So the Electrocute is the default that she'd go just to burst someone out.
Alright. Anyone you
but
want to
yeah.
have a look at again?
I guess I'm just I'm sort of like focused on the bot lane choices. I'm not too keen on some of the runes that have been taken.
We have Ashe and Samira again.
Yeah, I feel like the Ashe and the Samira is fine, but on the supports, I wouldn't have gone the runes that they have gone. I think that the Nautilus is going to be far too squishy for this lane. I'm also curious if the Nautilus has gone for second wind or bone plating. They've gone bone plating. Again, huge mistake there in the item choice, because the bone plating can just get procced incredibly easily by either laner, and then it's useless for a while. Whereas you take the second wind, you can stain up a lot more of the poke that's going to be coming out.
Alright. Are you ready for game 2?
I am ready for game 2. I'm very excited for this one.
Let's start this. Here we go. We are spawning into the rift. Let's see what the champions do and what game they will bring us this time around. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Let me just delete this, and there we go. Unfroze the screen.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, again, we are seeing the standard 5-point start for both teams. We've seen it a lot in the tournament so far, where people aren't risking level 1 invades. They're all just sort of like spreading out across the map, doing the 5-point start, making sure that invades aren't going down. I haven't seen too many level 1s actually happen. This could be a kill on Renekton if they stay too long, though.
Oh, it's 3 people here, and they know he is there. He's probably just gonna have to flash away. In the meantime, just let me sort the scoreboard over here. Kind of annoying.
Bunch of damage goes down onto the Renekton there, but they're going to be able to spawn and run top lane. Also, interesting to note that he has taken the Ignite, so it is not a TP lane in top lane. So there is TP advantage for Premium Esports Gaming, but wow, that is a difficult lane to survive if you are the Renekton. And there is a top lane start for both junglers as well, which is a bit surprising. It's what I would have done on Premium Esports, but this time you're kind of sacking bot lane over to the Ashe and Misfortune. And ideally you'd want to get kills in the top side with your Renekton because it's so easy to gank for. But the Zac is going to be pathing bot. It'll be interesting to see if they do survive the gank that goes down there, because I am expecting level 3 from both junglers, and they're probably going to meet there depending on their clears. Yeah, we are seeing the power of this double lane come out. The Misfortune is hanging a bit behind in lane. I think they're worried about a hook going down. I think this is the problem with the Arcane Comet that we are seeing now. With Press the Attack, you win the 2v2 incredibly hard. Even if they engage, you just win the fight. Arcane Comet is a lot harder to win that 2v2.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
Oh wow, they are just getting zoned off of XP here though.
So,
Misfortune just lost. The Misfortune there, she just lost experience on the melee minion there. She's going to hit level 2 later than the Ashe. There you go, see? Ashe has got level 2, Misfortune's still got level 1.
She was way too far back, right?
Yeah, she's playing too far back away from the Nautilus. They've given. It's really weird. They've given up control of a lane that they out-damage. Like,
I think they're just scared of the Nod Samira combo.
They still win the 2v2 though. Even if Nautilus lands a hook, he can't get out. He'll have to flash. Mm-hmm. He'll just die. Or if Samira tries to go in, they outrange and just kill her.
Oh, great damage in mid as well on the Cassidy there from Lissandra. Top seems to be fighting just a bit, and bot lane will be pushed in by Samira. Nautilus, okay. That's a weird hook.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage down onto the Samira as well. You can see they've got the love tap damage as well coming down from Misfortune is also huge in the early lane phase.
We see the major difference to last game though. We like the early fighting, a lot of early fighting, and the matchups are quite different than last game. So it will be a way more contested game. We see
We are
Liz pushing
seeing the,
in here, so probably gonna roam around here to bot river, but it's already taken.
That was a really nice play by the bot lane there. They had nothing to do in the bot lane because I'd shoved it in and it was getting frozen on them. They couldn't. Oh
Alright,
wait,
let's
hook
see
going
this.
down.
Misfortune gets hooked. Wait, Samira just dashes in on that, gets a flash, but gets ignited. Ash doing a bit of damage there.
Like trade, but this is really bad for the bot lane of support diff.
Yeah, now.
Samira does have the potions to sustain up, but again, we sort of like see it there is they just kind of lose the 2v2 damage wise.
Because the Ash is still for life.
Yeah, the Ash can just walk up and poke them out here.
Ash and Zac invading. Elise is coming
we
down
are going to see a
though.
lane gank.
Let's see if
There's
they...
a
Elise
wave.
gets seen now, and Nautilus goes
Oh.
for a cheeky side hook. Misses us though.
He's going to walk up and try and go for the auto. He's going to miss it though and just take some poke in
Oh
return.
damn, look at the damage. Maybe a good
Yeah.
poke here. W will slow them down.
At
Ash
least
going
he's
for
going
the
to come down
Q.
to bail this lane out.
It misses
That's
again,
it.
but Nautilus will fall here this time. Top, we also see a fight. I think Renekton will fall, but let's rather look at
Sidestep.
bot. Ash flashes. Elise going in with her E, now having to
Elise
retreat. Because Ash and Misfortune damage together are just broken. But Renekton also survived the top scenario here. At least I wants to get something. But
He's trying
she
to bail
can't.
a bot lane out of a very difficult situation here. They want to make sure that Samira can farm this wave rather than just sort of like get poked off a bit or die. But yeah, you can see here where the picking this Samira Nautilus is incredibly difficult against a double AD carry bot lane combo. Even with the jungler down here, it just doesn't work out, and it's also harder to execute. You miss a hook on Nautilus and you just die. He doesn't have. He's got the wrong rune choice to be able to actually like go in for these fights, and there's just too much damage on this Misfortune Ash combo to be able to play the game. And now with a pickaxe going over onto the Ash as well. Tear on Misfortune, yeah. I'm just not keen on poke Misfortune as opposed to press the attack. It's not going to be able to leverage it. They can still lose the 2v2.
Right, we also get the first dragon Hex Tech, giving a bit of CD, which was really good for spam champions like some of PGs.
Yeah, there's a lot of poke coming out from their bot lane alone.
Zac looking for a mid dive. Kassadin has his ult, gets knocked up, rooted, and knocked up again. Flashes,
Is he gonna be
ult,
another
gets
one?
ulted by Lissandra, but gets away in the end. They did take his flash for for one ult, so I think that's fine for now.
Yeah, it's gonna poke the Castin out of lane, and I've just used their teleport as well, so they can't get back to lane easily. They are gonna just be stuck farming under tower, and they will have to drop minions from the Lissandra pressure.
Secondly, we also see Elise starting this dragon solo. I'm not sure if she's gonna be able to take it completely alone on level 4. Might
There is
just
bot
be.
lane pressure from the Samira
Yeah.
Nautilus, so she should be able to sneak it because they can roam there faster.
And Zac
I'm-
seems to be looking for a gang. No, but bot lane is now following it up. Zac gets spotted. Misfortune instantly rotates. Ash is gonna follow up on this, but it seems they're gonna leave. No, they will
This
not.
could be a fight here.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a fight here, unless Zac is gonna keep being out of range, so this dragon is gone.
It's gone.
But
They're
Zac
gonna
now
engage up.
dives in, misses, but it's a 4v3 here on Bot River, and if they don't, no, they're just gonna let them leave.
Yeah, Premium Esports just not on the same page there. They're not committing to what plays they want to do. The Zac wants to go in, the bot
I
lane's
think
still farming the bot lane.
Aatrox could have followed up on that
Oh.
with another Q into securing an ultimate.
The only thing there is the Renekton had his cooldowns up. If he gets a WQ off there with Ignite, he could have actually killed him.
Oh,
So
but
it'd be
Aatrox?
interesting to see. This could be a
Renekton
kill
had
for
the
the
stun,
yeah, Renekton kills.
Aatrox had to... No,
kill.
yeah, and he even uses
Well
like, Ignite there. Aatrox had no time to unleash World Ender. And
Yeah, I've
it
seen
looks like
Lissandra come up here,
Lissandra,
though.
yeah. Lissandra is probably...
think-
Wait, but she can't
think-
fight him.
This should be a kill with the electrocute going down.
I don't think Lissandra's... Yeah,
Lissandra does have ult though. She didn't ult.
I don't know about that. But I think we're gonna see a lane switch. Yes, Aatrox will now be heading into mid lane.
Yeah, it's just so they don't drop waves where, because Castin's going to sort of like crash this wave in, and they want to make sure that Aatrox doesn't just go up top lane and, you know, just drop waves. Yeah, again, it looks like miscommunication from Premium Esports there.
And we do get a mid gank. Let's see, Castin is probably just gonna ult away 2-3 times and he'll be fine unless... No, there we go.
At least it's their shadowing as well. I don't think anything else can happen. But yeah, again, in the top lane there, it looked like miscommunication because Lissandra was roaming up to try and get the kill on the Renekton, but the Aatrox just went way too early, possibly thinking that he was backing in a bush. But in that case, you can't face check a Renekton like that. You just need to back off and let the play go.
And he still would have had to instantly use his World Ender to like not die there, so that didn't work out either.
What we are seeing again though is the dominant bot side just sort of like pushing them in. They are down on CS, however. They're not technically winning this lane.
And still, you see Aatrox still does a lot of poke damage to Renekton, but every time Renekton goes in, he does way more damage than Aatrox does to him. So Aatrox just has to keep out of his range.
Yeah, what I'd like to see is him building up his Fury and then getting off a...
oh, Ashe ults there with Misfortune! Won't be enough.
Very close.
But they do get a flash and secure themselves a lot of gold there. Yeah.
I think they should have held off for that for Zac to be able to come down as well. Because Zac was already in the river when the Ashe arrow was fired off. I feel like they could have just got the kill earlier, but it would have been nice to see them do it with the Zac as well.
Yeah, you see Renekton doesn't have that much advantage against Aatrox. Unless he catches him off guard. Like he did earlier.
There's also no ignite from the Renekton up.
Yeah. Oh, but he does get baited in really well and taken down
really
again.
Nice.
Good play
Really,
from
really well
Renekton
played there.
and SPD there. At least will now be going for this Herald.
Yep, dodges the knock-up out of the Renekton. Flash W just to make sure that it's 100% secured because the the Aatrox did have flash. But yeah, you can't react to that. Flash W from Renekton into the Cocoon, follow up, and then just the burst afterwards. It just means that there's going to be no follow-up. There will be a TP on the top tower here from the Aatrox, I expect. There it goes down. That means that the tower plate will be saved. Yeah, it's really, really unfortunate for the Aatrox there just to sort of like lose that.
We're gonna bot engage Zac. Zac doesn't seem to be hitting his stuff so well, but Ashe ult! The cleanse barely saves Samira from the second stance. He's gonna go anywhere though. The Samira will fall in Misfortune now. The Kassadin as well. Kassadin is leaving, and so is Nautilus. That's one kill for PEG. No, wait. Yeah, it still is one kill for PEG in this fight. A lot of material was invested though. So
Yeah.
it was a good prep though for Dragon. Now they have the possibility to ward. And
Yeah,
we
it
do
means
see a
that
lot
they
of
can.
wards.
It means they can shove their waves in the bot lane. That means they can reset, get out onto the map with the extra gold they've got, and yeah, just set up for the next dragon because they have already dropped one over to support diff. Yeah, but yeah, you can see how deadly this combo is with the all of the CC that they actually have with their combo. And you can see another plate going down.
MF taking even more gold for the Ashe. That was really close, yeah.
There is still a Nautilus ult though. That is going to get.
Oh, the Nautilus ult, the Ashe. Yeah, and that is exactly why what I wanted to mention earlier. Nautilus probably when Glacial Augment. So when in team fights he ults the triple Glacial Augment proc will slow down the enemy team even more.
The only thing there is that, like, even if it does slow people, Zac has still got his E to go in. It's not going to affect Aatrox too much because he's got World Ender and E. And, I mean, Lissandra's got her Claw. It might affect the AD carries, but they should be far enough back not to get hit by it. It'll be interesting to see how it does play out. I think it would have been better for the lane for them to have the Guardian. There is a gank on top side, though.
Yeah, you know, like, PG really has good ideas what they want to do, like, in the whole game. But I feel like they're constantly, like, not doing, like, exactly what they want to. They always have the idea. They need to communicate more.
Yeah, the idea's there.
You can see here the knock-up and roots, and, like, probably Sandra's ult will also come in. No, he does have to ult away. Like, you see, those plays, they should normally work out. But, like, when people just don't use all of their abilities they can, it sometimes gets problematic. And Lissandra just walks into River, here Zack even dives in. But going in 2v4 is probably not the best idea. Lissandra loses her HP down to 0. Samira and Misfortune gets hooked here. It is going to be 4.
Ash has still got her ultimate. It wasn't even used for that fight.
Yeah.
It looks like Ash just wanted to sack the fight, but again, like, there's a case of them not being on the same page.
Just 2
where
members
you've got,
down from PG, completely losing their gold advantage. Misfortune
Good
gets
back
rooted
shot.
here. The ult also coming out. Misfortune is probably not going to live through this. But Samira! No, Ash, come on. Nautilus gets taken down by Ash. Ash's movement speed here though. Gets a second kill, maybe a triple kill. Gets herself a triple kill. Taking back the advantage she just lost in VOD River.
Really big mistake over there. They're too busy trying to give the kill over to Samira that they actually end up overextending for that play. The play went on for so long there trying to give the kill over to the Samira that they just give up 3 kills to the Ashe. It just gets Ashe completely ahead.
Again, top lane, Aatrox isn't careful enough about Renekton, but Renekton is also overextending quite a bit. Since his ability ranges aren't as high as Aatrox's.
Yeah, without his Fury stacked up, it's really difficult for him to get damage off. The Rift Herald has been summoned in base though.
Yeah,
That is gonna run
probably
down the
last
bot lane.
second emergency spawn. Because
Yeah,
the Elise
most
was
likely.
taken down earlier.
The Aatrox of his Q up right now could actually just sort of like pop ult and run this Renekton down, I think.
Yeah,
There's not-
he has a bigger wave. And though Renekton also has ult just like Aatrox does. And I'm not sure who
This
would
could be a
win that.
kill.
Nautilus, no, gets his hook into the wall. And the
They need to
next
stop this
objective
Rift Herald
up.
from crashing, but they're too late for it.
Yeah.
It is going to crash. It is going to give over points.
Oh, Lissandra moves in but gets hooked. Roots the Samira with the ultimate. The Ashe ultimate sadly misses here. Would have secured them a kill if it hit.
If Lissandra had waited just a moment longer, or the Ashe ult had come out even sooner, that could have definitely been a kill. But
Now,
for all of that committed, they're just going to lose their mid lane turret.
can agree, and they won't even get first tower here on bot for that. It will be a 1-for-1 turret. And to be quite honest, I think for PG, getting this bot lane tower is worth more. Like it was worth losing their mid lane turret.
What it does afford them to do after they shove this next bot wave is to reset, put the Lissandra in the bot lane, and just have the Ashe and Misfortune go mid and sort of like start clearing waves there. Make sure to keep the Castin out of the game because they can do more against the Castin than what the Lissandra can. And
We'll probably
it
see
also
a
gives them
three-man
easy
dive
access.
here on top. Yeah,
Most
it will
likely.
be Aatrox, get your ultimate down. Sadly, the amount of stuns that SPD has will be just securing them that kill. Probably
It
top
is going
turret
to be
as well.
traded in the mid lane though.
And losing top
Yeah.
turret as well is gonna be a huge blow to them. They will take mid turret, so it will be still a split map, just with a different angle of that split.
And again, gold is completely even, but there is 2 dragons over to support them.
But still, PG just secured themselves the bottom half of the map while giving away the top half of the map, so they will have easier times taking dragons now.
Yeah, you can see the focus of it from the setup from the draft, where the Samira and Nautilus have an incredibly difficult time against the bot lane. They sort of like see control of like basically the entire bottom half of the map due to their picks. Whereas in the top lane, when you've got a point and click stun with Renekton to be followed up with by an Elise stun, you can see that they're leveraging the power of the top side to win the top side of the map.
I'm misfortunate, actually need to be really careful right now, because if either of them gets taken down like this, it won't be good for their team. And why are Zack and Ashe both in river rank that Ashe will be taken down here? A 700 gold shutdown, giving them 1k gold, and it's now 2 members down from PG. That's exactly why I said they needed to be careful, because if this happens, they lose the 3rd Drake to SPD, giving them soul point and a huge advantage.
This is a very early soul point as well. This is an incredibly dangerous situation here for Premium Esports Gaming. even though they had sort of like the advantage in the bot side, because there's so much miscommunication going on and they're not setting their plays up. Not only are they not setting their plays up properly ahead of time, but even when they're committing to the plays, they're not on the same page about how they want to do it or when they want to go in. And it's just giving up advantage after advantage. Oh, wait.
No,
No, it's just going to walk away.
Alessandra
Oh my God.
ults herself to save her and gets a... You know, he hasn't even the she has to flash away from this huge mispositioning there, and SPD is taking advantage of it.
There is currently a Herald being done, but...
Yeah, Zac really needs to hurry up with this. But Aatrox gets his chance. At least we'll just walk away from that. And if Zac takes this Herald within 8 seconds now, he will still get it. He does. Herald goes towards PG, giving them another chance at extending their map range.
I have a very fun fact for you. There is a TP down in the bot lane now. I'm not too sure about the TP because the wave is already dead.
Yes.
It also means that Lissandra can't split push on the bot side.
What about that fun fact of yours?
The fun fact is that if you have the Rift Herald aggro, it's actually about 5 or 10 seconds that you get.
Yeah.
Rather than it spawning away where it usually would.
I think
So it
normally
stays until near
despawns 25, right? Something like that, and now you get it despawns like at 10, I think. 10
Yeah,
seconds
it's
before
just that-
Baron.
If you're currently in a fight of it, if you currently have it aggroed, it will last until the animation of the Baron spawning,
Yeah.
when it starts like slithering around the back of the pit.
Normally it despawns like 30 seconds before.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives you a grace period if you're fighting it just before Baron.
I mean, I think everyone who plays jungle here has experience fighting the Baron and fighting Herald and having like 200 HP left and it just despawning in front of you for Baron. That's like one of the most painful experiences.
Definitely had that before, thinking you can rush it, getting it down to like no health whatsoever, and then it just despawns. All of that time and all of that commitment just gone.
Alright, let's have a look at the items though, I'm quite curious. Who takes the most advantages here?
Well, support diff has kind of got the lead. They've got a small lead on bot side, but the gold is going to swing over to the Ashe because of all the platings and kills I was able to get. In the top side, there is a free kill lead over the Aatrox though, which is going to be huge for being able to one-shot the backline if the Renekton can get on them. And again, you see, there's not that big of a CS lead from the Lissandra and the Kassadin. I'm not too sure why the Lissandra is blind picked, but the Kassadin is a brilliant
Misfortune! The jump is gonna... No, she's gonna flash away and gets a kill! Instead, Ashe takes down the Elise. Nautilus now running away. And we do see here that PEG still works together really well, taking down the Nautilus. But the Ashe will fall. Renekton perma stunned here by the Lissandra. Misfortune. Lissandra takes them down, just like the Samira. The Baron is up and they will go for it. A great play from PG.
It was initially looking like a good pick on Misfortune, but a very good answer from Premium Esports Gaming. The weird thing there that I did see is that the Kassadin just didn't TP. They've just carried on scaling up and taking the turret.
Yeah,
so they're going to lose so much more for this.
I think
the
he
Kassadin could
thought
have
that
very
they win
easily
this.
got backline.
Because the engage from the Elise was pretty confident. I think that the Kassadin expected them to win it, so he didn't TP. And now mid lane turret will also fall. The T2 turret gaining a Baron, 4 kills and a turret for PG within 1 minute. So that's huge.
That's a huge advantage going over to Premium Esports there.
As well with Dragon spawning in a minute, they still have that buff done, giving them even more possibility in the team fight. As long as they keep their bot lane safe.
Yeah, the Renekton is becoming a big problem. You saw in that fight where he just got absolutely ruined there. The Ashe just got destroyed by the Renekton. There was nothing that the Ashe could have done. Especially because the Ashe had already used her ult to counter the engage for the Elise.
Oh, Misfortune. Someone's playing risky today.
A very close one there, yeah. What I would like to see now is...
They want to go on the Zac. Let's see the vision real quick that they have. Barely any. But they know that Zac and Misfortune are there. Misfortune is overextending one more time. Gets stunned. Taken down. Now it's Ashe's turn to do the damage to Zac.
Can't join the fight though. It looks like they're giving it.
But it's Lissandra. No, Lissandra can't get her E off. Can't get his things. And Zac escapes with barely 1 HP. Does he know his passive props? Ashe is destroying though, but she is in bad position, gets second down. And Zack as well, that's a 3 kill for SPD here, turning their disadvantage back around, evening everything out, and gaining themselves a Dragon Soul, if I'm not wrong about this.
Yeah, that would be the Dragon Soul. That was a really weird sort of like series of plays though, because you had the Aatrox that had the teleport that could have joined that fight. Renekton was farming top lane and had to run all the way down from the top lane from the start of it just to when they got to the end of it when they used their prowlers on the Ashe. That could have been a one fight for Premium Esports to deny the soul, but the Aatrox didn't commit their teleport. That could have been a 5v4 for the majority of that fight.
Yeah, especially also with like Misfortune trying to face check here was not the best idea.
Yeah,
but at least really took advantage of this, like her just walking up to her is just a secured kill.
Yeah, the amount of time Elise has just been able to cocoon the Misfortune and just get the fight started off by picking their support early has been absolutely brilliant. This is again what Eva mentioned, sort of like in the draft with them going Comet. Not only does it like stop you from leveraging the amount of damage that Misfortune has, but it means that you can't build the Umbral Glaive. It means that you can't clear these wards as quickly and as safely as you want to be able to, because you've got to commit 3 autos instead of 1. It also gives you less vision sweep. An AD Misfortune could have prevented some of these deaths. But again, when you're playing AP Misfortune like this, you can't be face checking like that, especially into an Elise comp, especially when they've got a Nautilus, especially when they've got a Renekton with a W. And that is a Prowlers on Renekton. That is painful.
Okay, yeah, that's even better for him to dive the backline.
Yeah, if he's able to get Prowler's W off on either of the AD carries, like the AD carry or the support of Premium Esports, they're just dead. And there's nothing they can do about it. They either have to flash when they try and go in, and keep the distance, have someone pill for them incredibly heavily to make sure the Renekton never gets to them, or they die.
No, quick mention here is, we see SPD currently like clearing and warding out bot river, even though Dragon is up in 4. Meanwhile, Baron is gone in 2. Samira blocking the ultimate there, still gets stunned, booted, stunned again. Is Lissandra gonna be able to take this down? No, but Ashe takes on the Samira and advance. Nautilus can't be going away here. And that Ashe ultimate did enable them to get a double kill for the AD carry as well. Huge advantage.
That's a lot of gold for the Ashe there. It's also unfortunate the
no shutdowns.
No shutdowns, but still it's 600 gold over plus a wave plus extra towers. They are going to rotate into the top lane. They should be able to get the top lane tower as well, so that's even more gold being given over. It is unlucky for the Samira. She did have to use her cleanse, but she didn't have flash at the time of the fight. It's only just come up. A little bit longer and she could have got out of that.
Let's see here, 4 turrets down. Now 4 PG taking the advantage again. Clearing out, setting up vision wherever they can, and the Renekton going in, but Aatrox still pulling up. Ashe is just absolutely razoring away on Renekton, almost taking him down herself. Elise blocks that Ashe ult, and they will just leave now.
Yeah, the Misfortune completely stopping any kind of counter engage there from support diff. That was a very weird engage though. They didn't have their whole team there. This is something that we've seen in both games now, is teams playing without the information that they actually have. Sort of not seeing everyone or knowing the positions of the team on the map before they commit to fights.
I also think that the Renekton used his Prowler's Claw on the Aatrox there instead of the Ashe. That's why Ashe was able to just kite on Renekton so much. And take him down.
He did use it on the Ashe, but he had already blown his cooldowns.
So he just
auto queued, and then he just couldn't do anything else. He couldn't follow it up with anything else. He didn't have the damage to kill the Ashe
because he didn't have
his cooldowns.
Yeah, he didn't have his stun dash, right?
Yeah, I think he just used Q.
Yeah, that's like he did have nothing then. Like you get to where you want to be, but you have nothing left. So. What's gonna happen then? No resources, no damage, you're just gonna get taken down instead.
Yeah, all the threat was gone and the momentum has completely swung into Premium Esports Gaming's favour after a very good game. We had seen the ticking time bomb of this casting come back online though. He's hit the level 16, he's got Infernal Soul, and he's currently building towards his Zhonya's, and he's not too far off of it.
Yeah, Renekton is also about to hit level 16. No, he is roughly a third there. Just like Aatrox, just starting level 15. Do we have any level 16 yet? Yeah, Kassadin just hit his power spike, just like you said. And yeah, I wonder how much that's gonna affect a team fight with this ultimate now being on max level.
What I would like to see is, again, they're setting up in the mid lane.
Only Kassadin, Lissandra flashing in, Renekton now on Ashe. Ashe won't survive this time, but Misfortune takes down Samira and Nautilus with Lissandra, and Renekton, even though he took down the Ashe, he's not gonna get away from the World Ender.
Kassadin TP'd on the ward there that you can see in the Raptors, the blue one, rather than the minion wave or the wards that are actually in the thing. He could have got into the fight straight away. Instead, he's a non-factor. He's blown TP, didn't affect the fight whatsoever. The only thing he's going to get for that TP is a mid wave. It's again, as soon as that fight kicks off, he needs a TP instantly in the mid lane. This could be another steal angle though.
It's an Elise again, so possibility is there. The E comes out way too early though.
It's
And
got flash.
she has flash. Kassadin could also jump in. Aatrox is quite low. Elise touches in. No, but Deck takes the Baron. And Elise is gonna go anywhere. Kassadin also chased down now, but escapes out of the FEO from Lissandra.
At least it's just burned her flash and died, and the Renekton's still dead. There's the Elder coming up. They could just run and secure the Elder Dragon.
Yeah,
there.
they will. As you
This
can see.
is going to be a 4v5.
Unless
Without
Samira
your
Magic Killer gets him with Pentakill here, being 3 levels down, I don't expect that, but unless she does that, there's nothing that SPD can do to stop PG from taking this dragon. Nautilus, they just jump on it and invest 3 ults into this, but the dragon is going to be secured here, and SPD is just way out of range for this. They will take the Aatrox though. Renekton maybe gets on the Ashe here. Kassadin, come on. No, goes into Zhonya's. And Renekton now dies, gets the Ashe after all. And they turn this around. No, but they won't be able to secure it in the end. Apologies about that. Quirky.
This is going to be engaged. She's going to have to burn her flash here on the
She
Samira.
will. But we saw that SPD shortly turned this fight around. But sadly, Lissandra and Zac are just way far ahead. And they won the fight in the end.
They definitely could have secured the Elder rather than turning there. They could,
yeah.
They could have actually given up the Elder because the Nautilus is back after spawn. I think they should just be sort of like clearing vision and making sure that they can't get anywhere near it. I don't think they should be starting.
But I don't think
There's
SPD.
also minion waves need to be pushed in.
SPD won't be able to take this arrow, this raffle. My god, what am I saying today? This dragon. Unless it's just gonna be.
They're just saying Lissandra reset as well, but I don't think anything's gonna kick off.
Yeah, because they don't have the damage to take at the time. 14,500 damage is hard to dash out in 20 plus seconds. So
yeah,
they won't be
sure.
taking it.
I think what we're also going to see here is what I would do if I was Premium Esports is I'd put the Ashe and the Misfortune mid lane, sort of like keep that pushed out, because we've seen time and time again there is not any hard engage on support diff whatsoever. It's entirely committed on the Nautilus.
So quick
whereas
mention,
the options,
we still have
yeah.
2 players with Baron buff, being Zac and Lissandra.
And neither of them currently being used on any of the waves. There's a bot lane currently pushing in. The Aatrox, rather than pushing out the top wave and using its TP, because a bit too quick to fight, it's just walking down to mid lane. There's waves for support diff that are constantly pushing into the Premium Esports. They need to fix these minion waves. You can see Ashe down there currently doing it, but if a fight kicks off, she's not going to be there in time.
And Misfortune way too far
She
ahead
could get
again.
picked.
Oh, Elise
She
jumps on the
intercepted.
Ashe. Ashe doesn't have anything, gets taken down. That's the main damage gone. Now Misfortune is bad. It's in a bad position as well. Zac and Lissandra need to do all the damage here because Aatrox isn't there. Misfortune falls.
Still got his TP. Aatrox still has got
Samira
TP.
secures the Zac kill, and now Aatrox comes in though. Is he gonna be able to do enough damage? Samira takes a bit of damage here. Lissandra and Aatrox will fall as well. No way. SPD completely turned this around now, getting themselves an ace, taking the Elder Dragon, and coming back way far from behind. I think.
Incredible play by Tux there to get into that position in order to pick off the Ashe though. wasn't on vision, wasn't spotted on anything, just walked straight around into the prior bush and was able to get a cocoon straight into the Ash's face and just wins the fight as soon as she closes the gap.
Yeah, the SPD took way too much advantage of the mispositioning of PG here, and you see what happened, so...
Yeah, as soon as that Ashe is out of the fight, if either the Elise or the Renekton can sort of zone out the Ashe, who doesn't have any self-peeling tools apart from her ultimate, she's gone. Yeah, it's yeah.
Aatrox needed to be there, and he wasn't, so...
Yeah, it's been the story of the game repeatedly, not only for premium esports, but also for support diff, where they're not leveraging the teleports to sort of like push in the side lane and use the teleport to get into the fight. They're either teleporting too late, too far away.
That's not a position you want to go to. The other dragon will take it down. No, that is Misfortune is playing very risky, and SPD is just gonna say, "Oh, you do? Well, goodbye then."
Yeah, it's just punish after punish after punish on this.
Look at the huge damage wave coming in. It's just pure damage sitting in mid.
Buff isn't here though.
Mid tower, T2 will fall. They're probably gonna try to go for an up here. Aatrox has the possibility to stop this. Ashe absolutely obliterated. They are going in on this. Zac and Aatrox aren't taking too much damage here. But Aatrox, are you gonna be able to defend this? No, you won't. Lissandra also from the Nautilus ult. Taken down. Kassadin is doing the damage he wants to do. Gets trip kill. Renekton, Elise, they take the inhib. It's an ace. And SPD will finish the game off into a 2-0 victory. No, she can't. There's nothing they can do anymore. And PG was so far ahead in the mid game and completely lost to SPD. Winning 2-0.
I'm assuming you've seen the meme where that escalated quickly.
Oh, definitely.
That's just what happened. Wow. I wasn't expecting the game to just blow open like that.
Oh, that's the wrong pick. There we go. SPD taking it to 2-0.
Wow,
Major turn of events. No one could have actually predicted that because PG was so far ahead during the mid game, and that definitely showed that SPD was the better team and team playing in the end.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely played more cohesive as a team unit. Not only did they set up vision better around a lot of the objectives, and they was able to get there earlier, but you saw multiple tower dives work out for support diff. They was coordinating them ahead of time, especially with crashing waves coming in. You also saw multiple times in the mid game they was actually there as a cohesive unit ready for fights. Whereas with premium esports, there was like plenty of times both in the first and the second game there where they would commit to a fight when they didn't have all their members ready to go, and they also wasn't committing their teleports. They had 2 teleports on the members there in the second game, and they wasn't shoving side lanes and then teleporting to fights.
You know, I wanted to see PG really going in for another huge team fight, and we saw some, but sadly it wasn't the type of team fight you expected, because when they take down one champion after the other, it's not a team fight. It seemed to me like a massacre in the end, because when you lose your ADC and your second ADC, your top laner isn't gonna bait that out for you.
Yeah, I think what we also saw as well is the premium esports gaming were taking a team fight comp for that one, and they wasn't leveraging team fights. They wasn't sort of there ready as 5 for team fights a lot of the time. Even though they had the 2 teleports, they wasn't pushing in their side wave and then using their teleports to either force fights or counter engages and sort of fight the 5v5. And I think what also needs to be looked at is just the amount of times that the Misfortune was able to walk in solo and just get picked. They either need to send 2 people there to sort of buddy system to get wards down and clear vision, and not let the Misfortune do it alone.
At the same time, it's not just really only her fault, because after game 1, SPD knew that the support of PG does tend to go for deeper wards and to face checks, so they did set up a lot of traps, and they executed those really well.
Yeah, for sure. League of Legends is always a team game, and to have your misfortune sort of like warding solo is a team mistake, not a misfortune mistake. Because it's a case of you need to have a buddy system go in there to make sure she can get the vision down. Because if you're leaving your support to go get vision by herself, she will get picked. And the vision control, clearing wards, and making sure that you've got information on the enemy team is incredibly important for the objectives you want to set up for. So you need to be doing it as a team.
Alright. Then, taking to a victory, I'm pretty sure we won't have a game 3 after this, being a best of 3 and they won already.
We do also have an interview coming in for the support and the team captain of Support Diff.
Alright. So, when will they be here?
Hopefully soon. Hopefully now. There we are.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh yeah, 1 second there.
Hey, you Ratley.
How's things?
Really, really well played on the win.
Thank
Very
you very
enjoyable
much.
games, and you guys played really well as a team. It was actually really impressive to watch.
Yeah, we're coming together a bit now. It's nice to see the improvements every game we sort of play. Obviously hiccups along the way, but that's just how things go.
Yeah, as always with a sort of like situation when you've got so much going on in League of Legends, it being a complicated game, there's always going to be hiccups along the way. But yeah, just sort of like just give me your thoughts of the second game there that we just played.
Second game, I mean, we didn't execute it very well. We were kind of thinking Pick Bam was going a little bit differently. We knew that the AD carry played Draven. We were kind of almost baiting the Draven pick, and then we were going to play Samira Nautilus into it. But when Pick and Ban sort of changed, we were like, okay, let's stick with the comp and let's just try something different. It was a bit of a different style for us, this sort of more hard engaged sort of team style. But we managed it. I mean, there's a few hiccups with getting picked. I myself didn't have a great game, but my teammates carried me. They're brilliant. So yeah, it was just a different style for us, and we managed to pull it off. So I'm really happy with everyone.
Yeah, what was the? I'm interested. What was the thought behind the casting pick after you saw Lissandra? Was it just straight slam it in?
I mean, our mid can play Cassidy pretty well, and it was just a bit of an opening. We were looking at it and we're like, right, okay, we know Zach's going to be bot. We didn't think he was going to spend that much time top lane. He didn't spend any time top lane the game before, so we were thinking if we can just get Carson, he's almost like our late game insurance. I mean, we have a few champions that sort of fall off towards the late game, so if we have something that can kind of bolster that stage of the game, then it's quite a nice pick. And obviously it worked out. I mean, he had a great game.
Yeah, we saw it fantastically. They wasn't able to punish it early. I think they survived without dying for the entire laning phase, I believe, especially against the Zac and Alessandra that can set up ganks incredibly well.
Yeah.
It is an impressive feat, and it's also just a good pick into the Alessandra where it can survive the early game. Just throw a Q out and you negate the poke. So
it's a nice pick for that matchup.
I was going to ask for the first game, what was your game plan going into it?
The game plan was a very pick oriented team. We knew that coming in, and we've kind of played that before. We're not just a one-dimensional sort of team, but we knew that that's our kind of style that works quite well. Snappy little fights. I mean, the joke is that we're all support players, so our vision control around the map's pretty good. So when you have dominant vision, it's a lot easier to get these good picks in the jungle, especially with like an early game sort of jungler like Elise. I'm a big fan of the comp, and we had strong champions. I mean, we could have played it differently. We could have even set up for team fights against their team fight comp, and we probably still would have come out on top. But we played it to our strengths. We played to our leads.
Yeah, I was really happy to see the Elise pick come out, especially with the ability for it to tower dive in game one, where you had the strong bot lane combo.
Yeah.
I do have a sort of like final question. What was going through your mind when your Caitlyn got the triple in the first game?
I mean, it was nice. It was when we were kind of expecting it. We were gonna just see how the game goes. We take it slowly, and if opportunities come up early, then we'll go for the snowball and we'll pressure. And getting that, I think it was like 8 minutes in, maybe 10 minutes in. Yeah, I mean that's just your emotions are up. You're gonna struggle to be in a bad mindset for the rest of the game after that. So that was really good.
Yeah, for sure, and it was really well closed out from the first game, and even though there were hiccups along the way in the second game, the comeback and sort of like the picks that you guys made playing about Vision was really good. So yeah, really impressed. Really well played both games.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
No worries, man. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, so one more.
No, that's the best three done. Or-
I meant like, do we also
Oh.
get the other person you mentioned?
I am not too sure.
Alright, that's fine even if we don't. It was two massive games, and I really enjoyed both of them. And I hope that the games continue to be this great. I think we still have one game later, right?
Yeah, there's one game later on in the evening that thankfully I'm casting for. I'm actually really enjoying this. And yeah, the two games that we just saw are actually really fun games. One of them was sort of like a clean closeout from the early game. We even saw a comeback win with a good play around the vision. Yeah, overall, just sort of like two very entertaining games. Also, interesting team compositions as well. I like seeing the casting come out and get played too. I'm obviously a huge fan of seeing Maokai in the first game, even if they did lose it, as well as double AD carry bot lanes. I think it's just really good to sort of like leverage those. Um,
And again,
and
like what I said at the beginning of the game, like the Glacial Augment did play quite a bit of a part in the later team fights, when Nautilus ult always came out, slowing them down even more, forcing them to flash or taken down. Like one of those things really helped them
yeah,
out.
the ability to force a flash out, especially when you've got a Renekton on your team, and just make the AD carries on the backline really vulnerable is just yeah, it's always just a useful tool. I do believe that we have the support and the captain as well from Premium Esports. If they want to hop in, we'll. Do you want to ask some questions?
Well, I don't have any planned, but if you still have some, I think we still have a bit of time left.
Yeah. Yeah. Shoot 'em in.
So
Hey,
we
you man.
have Rox here.
Hello.
Hey, you mate. Yeah. Initial questions. What's your sort of like initial thoughts off of the two games that you've just played?
I mean, the first one, to be completely honest, we definitely went for a scaling comp, and that first play in the bot lane just went really disastrous. And after that, we simply couldn't pick it up. We also, to be completely honest, didn't expect the Ashe Caitlyn duo, which was really hard to play against. We just didn't expect that. I mean, that's from my perspective as playing the support, right?
Yeah, it's a very oppressive matchup.
Yeah,
Quite
yeah,
literally the most oppressive matchup you can possibly get in the
yeah,
bot lane as
exactly.
well.
And we just, I mean, I, what can I say? I mean, maybe our scouting failed, or we just didn't expect that combo, to be completely honest.
Yeah,
And yeah, that, I
it is
mean,
very difficult to play
yeah.
against.
And the first game was basically, I don't know how to put it better, but like just a slow choke out. And yeah, the second game, I think we drafted as well as played rather well. I think we were also ahead of you in quite a few moments. Um, but yeah, I think it simply shows that as especially in macro wise, we're not on the same page yet. Um, you know, I said in the last interview, we won't start trash talking yet, although some people expect us to be the favorites, but there's definitely stuff that we need to work on. So and it showed in this game, you know.
Yeah, it's always sort of like it's just a time and sort of like just the more you play with a team, you'll always sort of like get the communication going and team play going together, especially because you've got sort of like there's VODs to look over as well now.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, But yeah, second game, the comp that you kind of drafted was very like CC heavy, very team fight oriented, very easy to engage with. We saw that multiple times in the game with the Zac being able to go in, follow it up with the Lissandra, dump in the Ash Arrow, just try and get everything down, and it caused quite a few team fight wins as well in that game.
Yeah, no, team fights went well, and I think that's the part that I can say we excel at. Even in the first game, I think we won a few team fights, or at least like got some really nice picks. Like even though we were definitely behind on gold, but I think the main problem right now is just macro. You know, at what time is it worth getting a pick? When should we start getting vision? Obviously, support shouldn't be getting vision alone, especially like into Nocturne. I mean, sorry, Nautilus and Elise and so on. That's on me, to be honest. Yeah, no, it's just, I don't know, communications and macro in general. I don't think the drafts were that bad. They were mostly more of a team fight versus early game comps, in my opinion. That I mean, it's just back to the drafting table for us, I guess. But I'm optimistic. It's better to lose early on in the split, I guess, than later on.
Yeah,
So you,
it'll also sort of like losing is also a very valuable tool to sort of like find the mistakes that you're currently doing and to sort of like patch them up and fix them. But yeah, we saw a clear sort of like picture of the drafts, so sort of like what you're leaning towards with hard engage. There's also lots of control that you can sort of like get around objectives. You played the Ziggs in the first game, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Ziggs and Maokai together is obviously a lot of control around objectives, and the whole sort of like thing about team play will come with time anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, exciting drafts as well. Very much enjoyed the drafts. Really enjoyed the hard engage. It's all just about that team play and practice. But
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely.
I do very much look forward to seeing you guys in the future as well because yeah, there was a lot to talk about, a lot to go over, and yeah, seeing a Zac dive in from 2 screens away and just following it up with every single ult in the game is always exciting to watch. So I do appreciate it. I wish you luck for your next games, and I hope the practice and preparation goes well.
Hey, thanks so much, and yeah, see ya, guys.
Well played, man. See you later.
Alright. I mean, the team comps are really good this game, and I enjoyed every minute of the stream.
Yeah, it was incredibly fun to actually like watch and cast. There was obviously a lot of action, a lot of things to sort of like take note of and go on, and just like yeah, there was some just really fun champions getting picked, like Yone, having the Maokai, having the sort of like Lysandra and Zac diving in. It's always just really fun to watch. We do have one more game later tonight at
6, I think?
8 o'clock.
8.
Well, 8 o'clock Central Eastern Time. So mark it down on your calendars. Get ready for the games tonight because they're sure to be a banger. It is CBS against Placeholder.
Alright.
And I thank everyone for watching.
Yeah, again, thank you guys for staying around. I hope you enjoyed the games as much as we did. We'll see you all later tonight. I hope you come around. Any last words from you?
The games are an absolute banger, and I hope there's some more bangers coming up.
Alright, then we will see you all later.